Go ahead and tell the people your name, man, for those that don't know or recognize you already.
Hey, my name's Nathan. Nate Byers from the show, or Nate Burrell is my real name. So
Wait, they gave you a fake name and everything for 60 Days In? Ladies and gentlemen, he's from 60 Days In. Well, what season was it? Season 3?
3 and 4. Yep,
Oh, yeah, you went in for an extended stay, didn't you?
yep,
Oh, you're the first one that they actually came to do this, correct?
yep. That is right.
Hey, man, you were one of my favorite individuals on there, man. You were pretty laid back, and you probably had one of the more rougher jails. You had, what was it, Atlanta, correct?
Yep,
How was it, man?
yep.
I mean, is there a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes? I mean, are you even allowed to speak on anything? Like, do they really prepare you at all, or they kind of just really throw you in there, man?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like I think they try to prepare you. I would never want to bash on anyone in production. Um, I just don't think you can really prepare someone for that. I mean, there's a lot that goes into that.
I mean,
You
were
have your all
you
your
were you shocked at all, like to the reality of it when you went in there? I mean, a lot of people think this is all set up. Let's go ahead and get that one out the way. Is this set up, man? Is it a gimmick?
No, absolutely not, man. I was hoping it was a gimmick about day about 15. I'd say I was really hoping it was a gimmick, and they were just gonna come in and say, "All right, go home." But no, it's absolutely not a gimmick. Yeah, there was a lot of shell shock. I think uh, being locked up. Um, on the I think on the aspects of just kind of being in there, being stripped of all your freedoms, kind of just kind of going with the flow of how the jail works. You have to learn how that jail works. I don't know. What's your background?
What do you mean?
Like, do you have any? Have you ever been to jail or anything like that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, you probably don't know too much about me at all. But yeah, I've been to prison 2 times, man, and now I just kind of try to keep people the hell out.
Yeah. All
Um,
right. So yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about,
yeah,
man. You get
yeah.
in there, you got to figure out how the whole system works. You don't want to upset anyone. You don't want to upset the wrong people if you're going to upset someone. Um, so you're just trying to learn the ways, for your first couple days to weeks, you're learning the ways of the jail. So
Well, let me ask you this, man, because Atlanta is close to me. I'm out here in Virginia Beach, so we're not too far apart, and the politics from jail looks like pretty much the same, and the demographics as far as race goes.
uh-huh.
White guys were definitely outnumbered. Okay, big time. Would you say white guys had it much more rougher than anyone else in that jail?
I don't know, man. I think everybody just kind of respected everyone until there was a reason not to respect that individual. So uh, your color really just didn't matter, as long as you gave. I don't want to say your color didn't matter. The white privilege, all of that. You're kind of shadowed into all of that. But I think a lot of the guys realized real soon that I was just a normal guy, just like them. Like we've all made bad decisions. We've all done things that we wish we hadn't done.
I'm just saying, typically most of the time when people are outnumbered, they are usually the ones that become the victims. But you did adapt very well in there, man. You had some military background, correct?
Yep, yep.
Okay, do you think that had anything to help you with this whole situation? I mean, if you were to compare the two, I mean, is there any similarities? I always tell people that I have friends that are military, and we kind of like, hey, there's lots of similarities. Would you agree about that?
So yeah, let me talk about that real quick. One of my best friends, he was actually on one of the "Where Are They Now" um, episodes. I apologize. I don't know if that's really loud or not. Got a
Nah,
police
it's all
car.
right. It's all right.
But when I got out of the Marine Corps, me and this guy, we were working together. Jeez. And him and I clicked like instantly, and I couldn't figure out his backstory at all. And it ended up coming out that a year later that he just got out of prison for 7 years, doing 7 years. And him and I mean, we clicked like we had just served together for 4 years. So um, yeah, absolutely. I think the military mind and the jail mind kind of have a lot of similarity on just you're sitting around bored most of your time. You're being told what to do, when to do it, how to do it, um, what you're going to eat. So I mean, there's a little bit of similarity there for sure.
Yeah. Um, well, what do you think? What do you think saved you, man? Was it just your down to earth personality? Uh,
Yeah, I don't think my military really helped me in there, to be honest. Like I just went in there. You know what, dude? Honestly, everybody's a good person until they're not a good person, right? So I don't care what color you are. I really don't. Like if you're black, brown, white, I don't care. Um, you really like have to screw up for me not to like you. And a lot of those guys in there, man, they're good guys. There
and they
was
can
some
read
guys in there.
that. They can read that.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. What? Hey,
And say again.
go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say there was some guys in there. I just steered clear of them. That I knew they were bad news, so I really didn't want to deal with them. My whole mission in there was I guess my personal goal was to kind of help an individual. I just wanted to find one person and help them turn their life around. And if I succeeded in that, I would be 100% happy. My other mission was to help the sheriff in there. Find out how the drugs were getting in and other contraband, things like that.
Yeah. And look, man, like I said, I really enjoyed that season. That was the first season that I really got into. I'm very picky when it comes to, whole lockup because, that's what my YouTube channel is all about is lockup, and
Right.
but I think it's a very good, a really realistic view of lockup. I think it's one of the best shows that shows the reality of lockup. You know what I mean? And that's just my opinion. A lot of people think it's fake. I honestly don't think it is. Let me ask you this: were the inmates speculating a lot? Like, not of you. I'm just talking about in general with the cameras. Were they like, this is 60 days in? Did they all have a good idea?
So you got to understand the show Scared.
Scared Straight?
I don't know. Scared Straight, I think.
Yeah.
That was shot at that jail.
Yeah. A lot of cameras been in there.
So those guys are used to cameras, and to be honest, 90% of those dudes, they only cared about to be on camera. It was just kind of their little moment of, their 5 minutes.
See, I tell people that all the time. When they get that camera in there, they act up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But, to be honest, the guys, like, they did start speculating a little bit. I actually remember, I wish the 60 Days In would have showed more of one of my friends, JT, in there. He was the big burly white guy.
Yeah.
He sang me happy birthday. Actually, he's the big loud one that's singing happy birthday on my birthday episode. But he came up to me and he was like, "Dang, bro, my sister was just telling me about the show 60 Days In. She looked into it. Like, dude, she looked into it. She found out the production company's name that was there, that was shooting it. She found out all this information, but she just couldn't figure out what they were really there for." And he's like, "No, man, I'm pretty sure it's 60 Days In, And I was just like, I had to kind of steer him a little bit away from that because I was nervous. He's my boy right now, but if he found out at the time that I was, undercover, it could have changed easily. It could have changed easily, So.
Hey, look. Okay, I got 2 more questions. Just 2 more, man. 2 more.
Yep.
Okay, have you talked to anyone since the show's been over that was in there and you're like, yo, my fault, man,
Yeah. So, hey, man, look, like, my cellmate, Desmond or BG, honestly, like him and I were really, really close. It was really hard. There was a couple days there that I really wanted to tell him. Him and I had a lot of heart to heart.
Dude, he seemed like a really good dude, man.
He is, man. He's honestly an amazing person. He's young and he's made some poor decisions in his life. He's, he had to pay for them. But he's out now. When I talked to him, there was nothing but love from him, man. Nothing but love. On it, Onit's another one. He just got out recently. He hit me up. We're trying to link up as well. And then JT he actually got moved to a prison, and him and I are. We're waiting, man. We're waiting for him to get out, and we're gonna be hanging out and doing some big things. We wanna do some big things. So
that's good, man. That's good. That's excellent, man. Those guys that you're hanging out with, man, they really did seem like a good group of individuals, whether they're gang banging or not. I don't give a shit.
Yep.
They did seem like they had a good head on their shoulders. I mean, they're even ready to back you up, man. Over that whole pad situation, man, that was a blessing on that one. You know, that could have went
Uh,
sideways really, really quick, dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that I don't know how much you want to go into that, but that was a pretty weird situation that I found myself in, right? Because here I was pursuing a career in criminal justice to be a police officer,
Uh huh.
um, and there's ways that the jail expects you to handle things, and there's ways that I kind of figured, okay, if I'm doing an interview and they ask me, oh, well, I know you from 60 Days In, and you just, you went and fought this dude for just breaking your tablet. Like, yeah, okay, it doesn't seem like a real thing to fight over, on the outside, but on the inside, just looking at someone the wrong way could be the reason to fight. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely had to watch how I handled that. I tried to talk to Desmond. I really wish they would have showed more of that. He's like, hey, look, I got your back 100% no matter what you do. And I said, you know what, Desmond, like, this is a good time for me to show you that instead of going like the gangster way or like, like this is the only way, there's ways that we can go about this. He's like, man, that shit don't work, bro. That's why we resort to fighting. And I'm just like, bro, let me show you that it does work, But they had already had 100 issues with that dude, and that was just kind of the last straw that broke the camel's back there. So that's when they brought in the green team and they actually removed him before we got released again. Because all the gangs, you were right, man. All the gangs they were passing kites and they were saying, hey, dude, look, like we're gonna do this, but you need to throw that first punch. So I was a little bit nervous that a dude was gonna die in there.
Yeah. And a lot of people might not have noticed it, but I did. And I know that was a very, very dangerous situation you're in. And, I've came across a lot of situations like that doing time. And I look back and I'm like, there's only by the graces of God I made it out of that the way I did. You know what I mean?